We have a former Virginia Lieutenant Governor, Justin Fairfax, has shot and killed his wife and then turned the gun on himself in a what appears to be a murder-suicide. They appear to have been going through a very, very messy divorce. There were some sexual assault allegations, but that was from years ago. During his actual time in office, 2019, he served from 2018 to 2022. It did not end his career, so it must not have been all that damning of evidence in the allegations, or he would have been forced to resign his post as lieutenant governor. He says he served it through 2022 until the end of his term, so does not appear to have affected his lieutenant governorship at all. So I don't believe that had anything to do with anything, but there was a very messy divorce going on. Both of the teenage children are safe with family members, which is good to know. But yeah, did a wellness check this morning at their home in Fairfax County, which is just weird, considering his last name is also Fairfax. I had to do a double take. I was like, are we sure? But yeah, no, Fairfax County Police Department. So their house was in Fairfax County, Virginia, and they did a wellness check this morning and found their bodies. Very unfortunate. That's all we really got right now. It looks like it was just a domestic dispute over the divorce and turned very, very tragic very quickly. Don't have a whole lot more information on that at this time. If we get more, we'll bring it out, but seems like a complicated divorce that turned pretty ugly during a domestic dispute. And yeah, now they're both dead. Very, very unfortunate. We do have a second story to get over to. This one is about Nick Shirley. We do have a little bit of a fun thing that's going to pop up along the way, though. But back to the Nick Shirley thing. So remember how he was investigating in California? We watched that video of him doing the investigations and shit. So California decided they were going to try and pass a law, which is currently moving its way through legislation, guys. They are moving a law through legislation in California to make it illegal to do investigative journalism in the state of California. Like, are we being serious now? That's got to be against First Amendment, right? Freedom of the press? Investigative journalism, freedom of the press, that's a constitutional right, is it not? So, not sure how they're getting away with this. It's definitely going to get struck down if it ends up going to the Supreme Court, because it's unconstitutional. But they are pushing it through legislation. And Nux finally talked about it, because I heard about this a couple days ago, but Nux finally talked about it. So we're going to finally get some proper tutelage and knowledge dropped on us. But pretty messed up what California's trying to do. It's like they're flailing because they all know they're going to jail. It's quite adorable. We've been investigating the fraud all along. You're investigating? No, you're not allowed. We're gonna make laws so you can't do that. Only we are allowed to investigate ourselves. We are innocent because we say so. Mm-hmm. Nope, that's not how this shit's gonna work, you guys. Alright, let's get into this video because I know it's gonna be fun.
In the glorious US of A, incredible things are happening as well. You see, Donald Trump W's aren't just happening overseas, they're happening here too. This was put out by the Cato Institute, who hates Trump, but they can't hide the facts. The Democrats were a disaster on the border, and we were the best in the history of the USA. President Donald J. Trump. We gotta talk about the immigration W's that have been happening, because unfortunately, a lot of the people that like freaking out and like, you know, basically telling horrible news, guys, terrible tragedy just happened. You know, all those guys aren't gonna report on the the actual facts. So we have a lot of good news today that involve immigration. Like, for example, the fact that the border's closed. Like, this red graph, these are asylum seekers, right? So these are how asylum seekers are at 0 ever since Trump showed up, which is, by the way, awesome. And also got to talk about Johnny Somali actually going to jail. A Somali retard from America, unfortunately, who went to South Korea to harass people. He's in jail now there. Like, the 2026, year of the crusade, man. These people are going away. Now, my favorite thing is when Donald Trump posted this chart about how legal immigration is down to basically 0, like, lots of libtards were losing their mind. Did you even understand that this chart before sharing it, you're bragging about reducing legal entries, not illegal ones? Oh, you
yeah, fuck all of you bitches.
Fucking retarded
Deuces.
bitch. Yes, we're also super happy that we're diminishing
Bye-bye.
illegal immigration too. I'm so glad
you don't get to
paid
come
attention.
here no more.
You see, every single illegal in the country needs to get deported, but we also don't need to accept that many.
Like, for real, for real. I'm so glad this is where we get to start on this. I'm so glad. Because where are most of the illegals? California. Why? Because it touches the border.
Illegals too. We're full. I love how, like, the leftoid mind is just like a whole bunch of, like,
that's why they're in Texas too. It's because it touches the
border. All their
border.
days on Twitter and shrieking and freaking out about how somehow it's America's obligation to let ourselves get raped by the third world.
Nope.
Heart-wrenching as it sounds, that's literally where we are.
We done with that shit.
Fantastic news. The border wall is actually being built as well. Oh no, a wall on a border. I can't believe this. Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Also, by the way, before we get too far into this, hit that like button, subscribe. If you want to come hang out, I am live every day on Kick, 2 to 5. It's going to change when daylight savings hits again, but for now, it's 2 to 5.
And we take inspiration from the Vatican, which literally built border
Most
walls
days.
to keep Muslims out. Historically speaking, I'm not saying that's the purpose of our border walls, obviously, because, you know, obviously we have a immigration problem for more than just Muslims.
And I just learned today that CBP says they will soon be at the milestone of 1 mile per day in new border wall.
Nice.
And that includes, by the way,
It's
a
not bad.
water
Mile a
barrier.
day?
So on the Rio Grande, they are putting a water barrier in place. There's 5 miles so far,
Keep them
but it's going to
out.
stretch all the way across
Send them
to stop
away.
water-based human smuggling.
So a couple of things, Stephen. Everyone said it's
And then the leftists be like, no, but we love human smuggling. what about the child trafficked asylum seekers? Yeah, thank you. We know.
it's impossible to talk about immigration reform without sealing the border. Nobody I know, Democrat or Republican,
Seal
does
that
not believe the
bitch.
border is sealed. Leads some to say, like farmers and meat packers, what about some of the illegals here that are helping my company? Which led Mike Lawler, a Republican,
Why are
in
there
a
illegals
battleground
working for your
district,
company?
to roll out the Dignity Act? Here's a little of it.
Good.
It says if you've been here.
Why are there illegals helping your company? Why aren't you hiring legals? Oh, that's right, because you don't want to pay the proper wage for an American person. Got it. No, I don't think we're going to do this.
More than 5 years. So not the people that
Don't
came
care.
under Joe Biden's.
Even Republicans are trying to push this.
No. Nope. If you've been here more than 5 years and you are still not American, get the fuck out. Fuck you. Go away. You should have become an American. Instead of sending fucking 3/4 of your paycheck back to fucking Guatemala, maybe you should have been paying American taxes.
And I think a lot of people are unaware how absolutely horrible the general Republican Party is. We need to actually start making a difference on a local level, man, because we have some real retards out there. Like, there was this new shit that just happened where basically you had 4 Republicans join with the Democrats to stop us from revoking the temporary protective status of Haitians. And it's like, my guy, we got to get every single one of these people out, bro.
disastrous administration. But the people who have been in this country more than 5 years, 10, 15, 20 years, whose children and grandchildren may in fact be American citizens.
Don't care.
Oh my
They
God.
would qualify if they have not committed a crime.
Still don't
this
care.
is like I am a Republican congressman with a massive vagina. We need to give citizenship to people because oopsie poopsie, a woman might cry. And it's like, my guy, take your vagina out
Cry
of here,
me a river
please.
and go
They pay back
sailing
taxes.
on it.
They pay a fine. They have a job.
No, they don't. They don't pay taxes because they're not American. They are illegals working for illegal wages.
And they do not collect.
And the companies that are employing them should be charged with a crime because they are committing one. How you like that?
Government benefits.
I don't
they
care.
would qualify for
Nope.
a legal status, not citizenship.
I
So a
don't
little
care.
about what he
Me
meant.
Get them
either.
all out. The Dignity Act. You want to know my
Bye,
incredibly
bye.
hot take? Man, this is not. People are not going to like this one. I don't want them to have dignity. They broke the law. They invaded our country illegally. We need to get them out of there. And
Yeah, no, I
dignity
hope
is
they cry
irrelevant.
on the way out.
Well, I don't want to give these people dignity. They didn't give a shit about me or my country or my people. Why should I give a shit about them?
Sorry, I want to see them cry on the way out. I want them to cry. They've been making me cry. It's their turn.
I'm sorry, man. I'm really tired of like this emotional gaslighting. Oh, but we need to give dignity to the people that raped you. No, we don't.
But here's some of the facts with the Dignity Act.
I don't care about the Dignity Act.
Fuck your
I don't
dignity.
care about any of this garbage. Like, these people are pathetic. It's unreal. Now, of course,
Here it
one of
is.
the major reasons why they want all these illegal aliens is because they want to do fraud. And I think this is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. The California State Assembly is trying to advance the Stop Nick
Quite literally unconstitutional.
Shirley Act to criminalize investigative journalism. Nick Shirley says California is trying to pass a bill that would criminalize investigative journalism with misdemeanors, $10,000 fines, imprisonment, and content takedown. This is insane. They're like, we want to do fraud and we want to get away with the fraud, so we're going to imprison anyone that investigates the fraud. Holy shit. Proposed bill is titled AB 2624. It was made after I exposed mass fraud by immigrant groups in America. Under AB 2624, government-funded entities like the Somali Leering Centers.
It's so weird though. Gavin Newsom and the AG, they keep saying like they've been doing this investigation the whole time. So why do they care so much? It's so weird, you guys. It's so weird.
Would be protected from being exposed if they operated inside California. The enemy is truly within. When our politicians would rather protect fraudsters and illegal migrants, it's time for us to stand up or face mass oppression from the traitors who rule over us. And he's just right here. And honestly, we got to destroy these people. Like, there's a large sentiment, and it's a growing sentiment that it's like, well, a lot of the Republicans aren't doing enough, and they're trying to come up with ways to actually be gay about shit and give amnesty to people and whatever. And I agree. So we need to get those people out of office and actually start electing some radical motherfuckers. The solution isn't vote Democrat so they can enslave.
You guys want to know why inflation went so fucking crazy over the last fucking 4 years? It's because of all this fucking insane fucking theft of fucking money every fucking year. It got fucking so fucking out and to exorbitant fucking numbers because people just kept fucking doing it and over, and then more people kept doing it, and then they just kept fucking. Did you see how fast it fucking ballooned in Minnesota? They've been doing it for decades in California, guys. Decades.
Us forever. But anyway, there is one fantastic immigration story, and that is
Yeah.
Johnny Somali.
Here's the
complete fucking
surprise.
retard, man. The Somalis have been like one of the prime targets of this shit because there is
Merry
like
Christmas.
zero upside to having Somalis in your country.
This is my favorite story. So if you guys don't know, this is Johnny Somali. He is an IRL nuisance streamer that got in trouble in South Korea like, a year ago. And instead of putting this guy in jail, the South Korean government, in a total fucking gangster move, was like, no, we're gonna fucking make sure that you have no way to make any money. You can't fucking go have a job. You don't get your passport. You can't have an ID. You can't go do anything to make money. Go away. Make sure you're at your next court date. Just fuck off. You're stuck inside the country. You have no way to make money. Just fuck off. We'll see you at your next court date. Next court date. We're just going to continue this. See you later. Come back in 3 months. It's so fucking good. I've been laughing my ass off at all the fucking Johnny Somali fucking updates, guys. This has been the greatest shit. Atozy covered it really well. Legal Mindset covered it. Nux has covered it. Fucking Penguin Zero. I'm pretty sure he covered it. I'm pretty sure fucking he covered it too. Fucking Pegasus made a few videos. He's been fucking doing excerpts into his other stuff with it though. But man, this guy was such a little prick. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. He finally got sentenced yesterday. And of course, Atozy flew out there for the sentencing. Oh man. One day, you guys. One day I'll be able to just fly somewhere on the fucking spur of the moment just cause. I'm gonna fly halfway around the world. Why? I wanna go watch a dude go to jail and talk about it.
Oh
no. Okay. You sure about that? Yeah, I got the money, so it's fine.
Nux, that's racist.
But that'd be so cool to do, you guys.
Well, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Show me an upside. Show me how America is better because we've imported hundreds of thousands of Somalis. Like, this is the most obvious group of people that doesn't want to assimilate, that just straight up makes our country worse. You know, people crying about...
I'm not gonna lie. This one is probably worse than all the other ones. This is like finding, like, you know, like, you get that, the popcorn, and you get, like, that one kernel that's, like, half popped, but it's like fucking iron. Like, that's what this guy is. He's like the fucking worst piece of popcorn in a fucking bag of fucking awesome popcorn.
The literacy rate's dropping. Well, we're importing people with an average IQ.
Well, not awesome popcorn. He's Somali. So maybe like just plain butter. Not even the good theater style butter, just regular butter. Like, you know the ones that come in like the 3 flavor tins? You get the cheddar, the caramel, and then the shit. It's like getting a really bad piece out of the shit one of those.
67, and they get included in the...
You don't know what those are, Ray? Oh, man, dude, I grew up on those. That's why I'm so fat, man. The Pokemon and tins of popcorn at Christmas time. Oh, yeah. That and Axis and Allies by myself. Because I was an Axis and Allies dork.
And it's like, oh, the average literacy rate is dropping. Yeah, we're importing dumb fucks, man. It's a problem.
I would literally set that game up so we had a fireplace at my parents' house. Because it was a really old house, so it had a fireplace. Because back then you needed a fireplace or you were cold. So we had a fireplace room, and I would set it up in front of the fireplace and just play as all 5 different factions against myself. Just because it was more fun than talking to my sister. You used to get some what, Connor? I'm not sure what you're talking about. But yeah, I loved Axis and Allies. It was great. Oh, yes, you sold popcorn tins too. Yeah, I ate the shit out of those. But never the regular butter, because the regular butter is gay.
Anyway, so Johnny Somali is an American who went to Korea to harass people, and he's in jail now. That's right. His court case ended, and he is actually in prison, and it's awesome.
I know for a fact I'm not going to go to jail.
I remember now.
I'm going to laugh my off when all these motherfuckers are saying I'm going for 30 years, 20 years, 5 years, 10 years. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm not even going to do 1 day, bro. They're going to give you a fine. They're going to say, don't come back to Korea.
You've already exceeded the 1 day, buddy.
I love how this guy is just the poster
He's already at about 36
Somali
hours
immigration
now.
at this point. He is easily the most famous Somali migrant of all time. Bro goes to Korea
and climbing,
getting
depending on when you watch this on YouTube.
Being a complete piece of shit, you know, and he's talking shit the whole time. The Koreans are stupid, and he's better, and he's superior, and he's so much better, and Korea sucks, and North Korea is better than South Korea.
As long as you watch this in the first 6 months of, well, possibly even longer. So Legal Mindset's going to get to it. He could end up being in jail for a while. It's so hilarious.
And this dude goes in and he's talking up his big game. He's saying all the things. This is exactly, this dude with his bananas and rights really thinks he can go to another country and be superior. And my guy is in jail. It's just beautiful. Consequences are glorious.
Not jail. He's in prison.
Any jail time or any, bro, I'm gonna laugh like a villain.
All right,
So, for those of you at home that are wondering, what is the difference between jail and prison? So, jail is where you go when you get arrested. Prison is where you go after court and you've been sentenced. Difference. Big fat difference, kids.
we got a lawyer that actually went to the court case, I think.
Johnny Somali, aka Ramzi Khalid Ismail, has been sentenced to 6 months and 20 days in prison with
complete W, bro. Bro's gonna get raped by Ni Jing Chun over there, and it's gonna be fucking diabolical. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Oh, he's already wearing a tutu over there, guys. Guaranteed. They have already got him fucking parading around in a tutu. Promise.
It's gonna be evil. Now, again, I don't want Johnny Somali to get raped in prison. I'm just saying there's a high level.
Well, he probably already has been. Oh no.
Likelihood that his roommate will be a large, very fat, overweight, sweaty Korean man named Putin Kok.
And so the way that it works in the Korean things, they're like they work it up in shelves. So superiority, like you get the furthest away from the bottom, because at the bottom is where the shitter is. So he's going to be all the way at the bottom right next to the shitter. So he's going to be smelling shit while he's doing the Humpty with all the boys after they're done taking their shits. He's having the best life.
Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Probably. Nope, I don't know for sure that that's the life he's leading right now. But it's probable. And it's fantastic.
Bro's roommate is Dong Suk. It's gonna be pretty diabolical.
labor in Seoul, South Korea today. We're going to get that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be around judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney who's been tracking this from beginning to end. And today we're going to break out the exact reasons for the guilty plea, his imprisonment, his sentence, and what happens next. Let's get into what happened today in Seoul, South Korea. So first of all, to just get to my opening statements, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, was found guilty on all 8 charges. So there were 4 counts.
Wait. No shot. Bro, like, a lot of his charges are like disturbing of peace and shit, which is great, absolutely. But apparently, like, that means he's a sex offender.
Yeah.
That means he's a registered sex offender.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They threw the book at the. We need to treat immigrants this way too, man.
So the sex offender status was because of the deep fakes. The deep fakes are considered sexual offender, sexually explicit, because the deep fakes were of him making out with a girl, another content creator. So that was considered sexual in nature. That's what that was. I told you guys, I've been paying attention to this since the beginning.
Counts of business obstruction, 2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act, and 2 counts of the deep fake distribution. Guilty.
You're being racist. No, I'm not being racist. These guys fuck.
I don't care. Call us racist. Does not matter to me at all. So, fuck you.
Fucking suck, man. Like, come on, dude. All right, if you're coming into our country, you need to obey our laws. If you don't obey our laws, we're gonna obliterate you. That's how it works. That's at least how it should work. All right, this infinite pussification of society to let these people get off of literally whatever they do. All right, it just makes them do more shit.
On all charges. He was sentenced to 6 months in prison with labor, an additional 20 days of detention, and 5 years of offender status, with his phones being permanently confiscated. But how did we
permanently?
We got there through a team effort. I started this forever. The same courtroom, and the photo here today is a photo, and once again in front of that same.
I love it, dude. I love it.
And there's a
He's just
Tozy
like
in
a
the hat.
generational hater. He actually went to court to watch this dumb fuck go to jail.
Yeah, he did.
Absolute cinema.
Courtroom today, but it was a team effort. My team, the Somali conviction team, worked very hard submitting evidence, submitting facts, and really getting into it with this process where we wanted to have jail time instead of the normal process where foreigners are often just given a fine and let go.
God, that is so based. You know, God bless the citizens that are fighting for justice when the giant, slopping, drooling vaginas that are running society just want to let everyone off on shit forever. You know, if not for like people like Nick Shirley doing investigative journalism himself, you know, we would have never had this fraud task force actually start arresting people. And hundreds of people have already been arrested for fraud situations.
And there's going to be a
if we
lot of
didn't have,
California
like, you know,
people going to jail.
Our absolute assholes in society driving people insane to actually enforce the laws wouldn't be enforced. They would just let people get off of everything. Dude, this is cinema.
Which we thought
really
could
is.
be a very, very
It's
real
so great.
possibility if there was not more attention on this. And you can
Completely true. And the moral of the story is that you matter. You viewer, who think you don't matter. You do
we matter, you guys.
God created you in his own image for a reason. And maybe it's not to harass Korean judges to make sure that they arrest Somalis.
You know, that probably
but if
isn't
it
it.
is, then that is a truly worthwhile reason to be in this world. You've made your creator proud.
You can see we had Korean media, which interviewed us, and many people from the team were there. You've got Professor Ulrich Nod, you've got Kingman Lee, who's showed up off of X. You've got Atozi, you've got myself, Gabe, another individual who showed up who saw the coverage. You've got Atozi's editor. Everybody worked together. This was a huge team effort. There are a lot of people that aren't even pictured in this that worked together to get this done. And because of the coverage of this, and also the coverage in Korean media, as you see here, that actually led to a different result than normal.
True.
But let's get into the...
And that is why citizen journalism is everything today.
Well, and then Johnny went ahead and started, you know, threatening the judge, threatening the judge's family, threatening the judge's grandma or her mom or his mom, talking shit about the president of South Korea. He did a lot of stupid shit, you guys. The fact that he only got 6 months really just goes to show you how much they just want him gone. Like, we don't want to have to feed him for that long. That's the only thing I can come up with, like, because they know he's not going to actually do shit at the labor. Like, that labor is going to be so fucking piss poor.
Because we have the ability to annoy politicians into submission. That's right. We just gotta annoy the shit out of these people until they actually buckle to our whims. That's right. We have to threaten them. We have to outvote them. We have to install new, more radical people.
No threatening, except with replacement. Like, we will vote your asses out if you do not do what we actually want you to do. But that's the extent of the threatening that I want to see. Nothing more than that. We are not Hassan Piker crowding this bitch.
Than they are. That's right. And when people say, Nux, you're radicalizing your audience, I say, yes, I hope so. I would love it if we could get some Old Testament justice brought back.
We can go radical annoyance, but that's as far as I'm allowing you guys to go. Okay? Annoying is all you're allowed to do. Okay? I don't want to ever fucking have to worry about anyone in my community going out and catching charges, okay? I've only got fucking 19 of you. I don't need to lose any of you guys to jail time.
Back into society. I would love to bring back a more liberally used death penalty on murderers and child rapists. I would love it if vandals and thieves and burglars and fraudsters end up getting forced labor for years to pay up whatever damage they've done. Under my system, a truly colorblind, anti-racist...
No, Johnny is too annoying. We need to be the good annoying.
This system, it doesn't matter what color you are, you will be punished to the full extent of the law. And I have no mercy or loyalty
as long as we're
to the politicians
saying
that
accurate
refuse
shit.
to enable that agenda, because they will lose.
I
their
don't
next
care how
elections,
awful
because
it is.
We here, the citizen journalists of the world, need to come together and brutally humiliate the retards and losers to make sure that everyone knows exactly what they're voting for. Because you,
Cloudy, you don't have a mind, bro. That's why I had to. That disclaimer was specifically for you, buddy. Australia will get you real quick. I know how bad they are right now.
Matter. The last thing any of these people in these positions of power actually want is a spotlight on their wrongdoing. So you know what? They're going to capitulate.
Trial facts itself. So how did the trial start?
All right, let's
Well,
go.
the trial started packed with observers. Now, the first time I came, there was hardly anybody in that courtroom about a year and a half ago. However, today, standing room only. People were standing, sitting on
waiting
the
for that
floor,
sentencing.
all there for Somali. They had to
all there to watch a Somali go to jail, based on
prison.
Put up actually the red tape. They had to line people up. It was very, very much more chaotic than normal. Now, strict security was enforced. There was no phones or recording, as well as no reaction.
I love how Somali fatigue just got so fucking bad. Everyone just wanted to see this dude eat shit.
Actions or expression. At one point, when someone smiled during the courtroom, the bailiff actually corrected them to, hey, no expressions.
Wow.
No, keep it serious, keep it somber. And the judge did remain the same throughout the trial. Now, the prosecutor did change in the spring from the older male prosecutor that was there before to a new female prosecutor, which was there today in this case. Now, what happened? Well, first, there was the guilty portion, because first they had to assess the guilt, because Ramsey had pled guilt on 6 of the charges, the business obstruction and the Minor Crimes Act, but still reasserted his non-guilty plea.
Bro didn't want to be a registered sex offender. Can't imagine why.
In the deepfakes. So the judge found Somali guilty on the deepfakes, as we predicted he would, because a reasonable person of the age and gender of the victims would experience shame at the deepfakes. The judge then went on to say, okay, you're guilty. Now let's talk about sentencing. And he said, in his opinion, there were both mitigating and aggravating factors for the sentencing of Somali.
What were the mitigating
factors that he explained in this case were for that victims Jungman and Hank Yu did not want Somali to be punished. And there has been a settlement with Jungman that they tried to get the charges dropped. So they weren't dropped, but the judge did say he did factor that in for mitigation. They also said that victim Bong Bong did not experience severe shame or embarrassment. And had she experienced more severe embarrassment, perhaps
it was only moderate shame and embarrassment, I guess.
Harsh punishment. They also said, and this is very interesting, that the travel ban and the inability to return home were technical disadvantages for Somali. That was very curious to me, because if he had been allowed to leave and go home,
he would have never
come back and not
he would have been
never gone to jail. He would have just not come back to Korea.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, these people are too weak. Too weak.
This is.
But anyway, I don't care. This dude's in jail for 6 months.
However, he did bring up aggravating factors. The aggravating factors he brought up were that Somali repeatedly committed crimes primarily for YouTube revenue and broadcasted these with no regard for the victim. He also said that Somali showed clear disregard for...
Not gonna lie, bro. We introduced these people with an average IQ of 6'7" to the internet. And everything was worse since then. Oh, we gotta immediately cut off internet access to the third world, and society would become a utopia immediately. No more AI slop images from Pakistan talking about how Iran is winning the war against America. No more Tucker Carlson pandering to Islamic voters. No more people shaming you for Islamophobia when you're not a huge fan of rape happening in England every 54 minutes, in London specifically. All right, you know, like, we wouldn't have a Johnny Somali if... I'm not gonna lie. This dude wouldn't be out there harassing and people in public to the point that he became a registered sex offender. You know, if he wouldn't have had access to the internet. I'm telling you, man. Look, people are gonna say I'm racist, but they can't call me a liar.
For Korean law.
They can.
This is something he understood from the files that myself, and the Somali
subjective
team
nowadays.
submitted to them, showing that he didn't care about Korean law, disrespected the judge, the prosecutor, and really the Korean system at large. He said that the Korean system is an absolute joke, and because of that, he wanted to show how much of a joke it was.
Shout out to President you, the judge, the prosecutor, y'all can suck my dick. Bitch ass bitches. Yeah. Suck my dick on Saul.
There's zero humility, and it just did in.
Now, he also did bring up the risk of repeat copycat crimes, and saying that because Johnny Somali is a type of streamer which can be copied and repeated, this is a risk, and they need to set a precedent to deter other streamers from...
So based. All law needs to work like this. I love how it's just like, oh, you know, he might have copycats. Dude, if a guy gets away with murder, there will be copycats. If a guy gets away with vandalism, there will be copycats. copycats. The consequences are important not only to punish the individual, but to prevent other people from doing that crime because they don't want to face those consequences too. Absolutely. There's always risk of copycat
coming in. Now, whether or not 6 months will actually deter people is up for debate. A lot of people, even myself included, think it's not severe enough to deter everybody, but perhaps it can be some sort of deterrent. But he did factor that in as an aggravating factor.
All right.
So when he handed down the sentence, he explained very clearly it was 6 months in prison with labor. That will be in a specialized prison for labor, also in a prison for offenders, because he had 5 years of offender status, so he can be no.
Bro's actually getting raped in jail. This is so fucking sad, dude. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
They're putting him in a sex offender jail for labor. He's so cooked. Bro and his prison mate Dung Suck are really gonna get along.
He did the hump, dude.
They out there are gonna become best of friends. They're gonna know each other inside and out.
Nowhere near women or children, and he also has to be away from certain types of locations as well. So he can't do all sorts of labor, but he will be laboring in prison. He also will have an additional 20 days of detention, and his phones are permanently confiscated. He will never get back that Galaxy or iPhone ever again. The judge also explained that there are several questions about flight risk and whether he would be immediately detained. They gave him the option to remain silent, but instead Johnny Somali decided to speak and
no shot. He's so retarded, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
A man with an IQ of 6'7" actually make his own life decisions.
Decided to lie even more. So when Somali spoke, the judge asked him if he was still a student. Somali lied. He said, yes, Arizona State University. We all know this is untrue. He hasn't been a student for quite a long time. The judge asked if there's any other reason why he should not be immediately detained. Somali said, I have family in my home country that I miss deeply. And I know I have to pay for my crimes, but I'd be grateful if you gave me a second chance because I think I can do better.
Sure.
Well, the judge kind of ignored this plea because it didn't actually answer the question of why he shouldn't be immediately detained. Of course, they're not going to let him go home. That's ridiculous. No. He's already been sentenced. The prosecutor stated, in fact, that he does pose a severe flight risk and should be detained immediately.
Agreed.
Now, he was given another chance to speak, to kind of respond to the prosecutor. Somali again lied and said, throughout the court proceedings from 2025 to now, I have refrained from doing anything to harass the public. So I feel this has taught me a vital lesson.
Of
course, we know that's not true. We have the sexual harassment charges that were filed based on his activity during that period, and those are filed in the...
This dude literally films himself sexually harassing people, and then he actually just goes to...
Yeah, while this guy was going to court date, he was actively picking up more fucking charges. While he was live streaming, while he wasn't supposed to be. Like, this guy did a fucking generational fucking crash and burn in fucking South Korea. All throughout most of last year. It was pretty fucking great. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fucking laughs off Johnny Somali.
The judge and just lies into the camera. Dude, I'm getting flashbacks to like the Somali Leering Center in Minnesota. Bro goes to the camera and is like, I would show you my paperwork, but someone broke into my Leering Center and stole all the paperwork. Like, just straight up lie to the camera like that.
Eastern District. We also
that's not true.
Where he was harassing people.
See, that's not entirely true. He did not, in fact, lie. He just refrained from saying that he was the one that broke in. Or that he knows who did. But somebody did break in and steal all that stuff. Whether it be from the inside or from the outside. There was some breaking and inning.
People in public, where he was insulting people, getting drunk. So we know that's not true. But the judge said, okay, really, that none of that is relevant. We're going to find a significant flight risk and detain him immediately.
Dang.
So the judge then explained that there's 7 days for both Somali or the prosecution to appeal.
Now, this is the
very important.
Yeah.
Because the prosecution can find that this was too light. They recommended 3 years, and he only got 6 months. So the prosecution has a chance to go back, go to the court, and say, no, we need more time. We think this is not fair. Somali can also try to appeal this, but the thing is, for Somali, where appeals really aren't going to work in his favor, is the average appeal takes about 6 months. So if Somali is angry about this, he has to appeal from jail. So while he'll be in jail, he'll be serving that time. By the time he would appeal it for saying it's too severe, well, his term will probably be up. He'll probably be at the end of his sentence where he's already served that prison labor. Now, the bailiff did escort...
I've been following this story for so long. I just keep
This
saying,
is just
wake
for the
me
appeal.
when he's in jail. Wake me when he's in jail. He's in jail.
Somali out after that, after they explained the chance for appeal, the 7 days for appeal. His possessions were taken. Somali seemed to be prepared to go to jail as he brought a full backpack with all of his things, and he was handcuffed immediately and taken to a side room where he'll be bussed over to the detention center, and they'll eventually decide which prison to send them to. After Somali left the room and we saw him be, taken off and handcuffed, all the observers left. Now, Korean media was waiting outside, and myself, others, Atozi, we were interviewed about how we felt about it, and we gave our true opinion, which is we are happy that he was proven wrong, but we think that he deserved more time there. They also
the YouTubers just fucking going for the jugular.
Asked us if we were talking
they're just
as
being honest.
YouTubers or Americans or whatever, and I answered that we're talking.
Because if you guys accumulate all 8 charges, if he was to have served it concurrently, where you serve it back to back to back to back, he was looking at up to 30 years of jail. To only get 6 months, to only have the prosecutor want 3 years, and then to only get 6 months, with all the belligerency that he had throughout the whole fucking thing. Almost all of 2025, he was just being complete and utter ass bag. Fucking talking shit. He doesn't know how to be honest.
As people interested in the truth, and we're interested in revealing the Korean court process and getting the truth out there, both to Korea, Americans, everybody, and making sure he serves the time that he should serve and he's punished appropriately. So here's my judgment. Somali was proven wrong when he said, "I promise you I won't spend 1 day in jail."
Well, yeah.
I know for a fact
Factually incorrect.
I'm going to show you guys how far I can push the boundaries, and I'm going to show you that the Korean government is not going to do anything to me.
Somali IQ level strategy.
Well,
the Korean legal system is not as strong as people think and perceive it to be.
He's in jail right now, by the way.
That, it makes me...
Well, in that one instance, he was indeed correct. Only getting 6 months, it's a very light, he's about to go over it. It's extremely light. I would have thought the 3 years that the prosecution had encouraged, and the prosecution will probably appeal, and it will probably get lengthened if a different judge presides over it.
Very, very happy that Somali was once again proven wrong on that. However, objectively, 6 months and 20 days is a light sentence.
That last fucking bullet point is fucking big, though.
Would have been appropriate, particularly given the prosecution's recommendation of 3 years.
I forgot about the other district fucking still having charges pending. Because it's been dragging out for so long, I had completely forgotten about those.
That would have been a...
Because he had to have separate attorneys for them, because the attorney that he had for, I think it was the Central District, maybe, was where he just got sentenced, didn't have paperwork to practice law in the Eastern District. He only had it for the one district, so couldn't actually be his attorney in the other district. I remember that being something that they went over.
Compromise where they didn't get the full
I felt like they figured he's a foreigner and he has an retarded level IQ. How are we really gonna hold him for 3
years? But they also didn't get
That's
a
the
small
thing.
amount. 6 months is too...
Yeah, we're getting labor out of this fucker, but man, he's so fucking twink. How good is this labor gonna be? And then we still gotta feed his ass. I guarantee you he's got a bottomless fucking pit of a stomach. Because all those little fucking skinny bastards do. You should see how much Connor eats. He never fucking stops.
Too light. And because of that, we strongly encourage the prosecution to appeal. And we will be, along with the Somali conviction team, myself, encouraging the prosecutors to appeal. We also have...
Yes, you don't.
have these CHS, child sexual harassment charges, that are still floating out there in the Eastern District. We're going to be encouraging that district to bring those charges, because those charges can be brought while Somali is in jail, and that could result in him being in Korea for an even longer time.
That's crazy.
But I want to know what you guys think about.
I just love the fact that we got like the citizen journalists being like, no, 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 stop being gigantic vaginas and jail this motherfucker. Serve him bananas and rice every day, all day till he drops. Couple of real men in a world of vaginas. And that's why you matter. That's why every single one of us matters. Not only on some sort of metaphysical level, but quite literally, your voice and your strength make a difference. Democracy isn't a perfect system, but we're gonna abuse the shit out of it.
Yeah, we are. And it is pretty good, actually, sir. I like democracy, thank you. We the people. You put it perfectly, why should I give a shit about dignity for people who didn't give a shit about my country's dignity when they broke in illegally? Fucking correct, sir. Absolutely fucking correct. All right, that's it for this one. See you guys later.